Okay, welcome back to the channel everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Penrith Golf Hub. Got a new product to review for you today, and it's an area that always sort of excites me, is this utility iron, that driving iron category. So what I've got in my hands here is a Tour Edge. It's an Exotics EXS titanium utility. So the hollow body construction here. Obviously great replacement for that maybe hybrid off the tee, that long iron, to try and get a little bit more of that penetration, that ball flight. Great option off the tee for that sort of fairway finder, but also that slightly higher flight, maybe hitting off the ground as well for those long approaches into the maybe long par fours, par fives. So we're going to test it. We've got TrackMan on the floor as always, so we're going to measure and get some data to you guys, as well as my personal feedback of the looks, the feel and the performance of this particular club. Okay, so just before we hit the first one, let's just talk a little bit about the technology in here. And obviously the real big talking point here is this titanium club face. So we've got an L shape, a wrap round this leading edge titanium face. So it comes down the front and then also just goes underneath the sole of the club on that leading edge. So helping to obviously save the weight in the club face with it being small titanium, and then repositioning that weight in the stainless steel body of the club in different areas, which is going to help try and get sort of centre of gravity a little bit more precise, and where exactly they want it to help maximise that sort of launch or optimum of that launch and spin, but also creating a little bit of distance, maybe a little bit hotter off that club face itself. Hollow construction, as we tend to sort of see more in these utility irons, so that gives an appearance of quite a large sort of sole there, so pulling weight back just makes it ultimately a little bit more forgiving. So over against the traditional 3-iron, which obviously will be a lot thinner, these are generally a lot more forgiving to sort of use. So this is a 3-iron I've got, which is 19 degrees, and I've actually got this fitted in a 10 size silver graphite shaft in an X-Flex 75 gram. So I'm going to get this first one hit and we'll see how this performs. Okay, not too bad opening shot, just a slight little bit of cut on that, drift on that right side, which I don't mind that shape at all. So 235 carry, running out 257, nice little opening start there. Probably didn't flush that as good as I potentially could do. That spun at 3,000. So first instincts then, putting that down by the golf ball. For my liking and my personal eyes, quite a bit of offset on that, which I'm not overly keen on. I never like to see too much offset on a golf club, so that leading edge just set back from the front of that hosel there. And it does look like it's got a bit of a curvature on that club face. So typically with an iron, you're going to see sort of quite a flat face. This looks a little bit like a hybrid sort of face, where you've got that little bit of roll on the actual club face. So it doesn't bother me too much, that, to be honest, but the offset maybe just a little bit too much for me there. Top edge is obviously a little bit thicker. You just see the back of that sole just sticking out on view in that address position, but nothing that really distracts your eye from the actual club itself. So apart from that, it does look quite nice, just that sort of satin, a little bit of polish in that heel and toe section. Again, that wasn't flush, but the flight is lovely. Very forward on that flight, very sort of looks to be penetrating, a little bit straight on that particular shot. 227, just going to probably say, just got a little bit of a tweak in my neck at the moment, so I'm not feeling like I'm fully swinging at my full 100%, to be honest. Just got a bit of a tweak down the old neck. So this is quite an interesting little bit of tech on this. What Tour Edge are calling is a combo brazing, which is a technology where there's no welding of that titanium to the metal stainless steel body, which is quite interesting. So typically, obviously, when a weld line, when they do the face separate to the body, it obviously creates a little bit more weight in that particular area. So this, where it's fused sort of together, actually saves that little bit of weight and now allows to be really distributed and to create a little bit of a hotter club face, which is quite interesting. So there is available in a 2, 3, 4 and a 5-iron in these. So again, it's that long iron replacement. So if you typically like a long iron, but maybe just want that a little bit more forgiveness, a little bit more ease of use in terms of flighting, these are a really good option for that type of player who'd like that. Okay, that was a better strike. Again, very neutral in its flight. Big love of these utility irons. I just really enjoy hitting these. Just the flight that I sort of get, that little bit more penetration. I like to sort of see that off a tee. Typically with my driver, I'm probably not the most confident golfer with driver off the tee in terms of just getting a control of the dispersion. So I would always drop into this type of club. Like to see that flight, especially when it's a little bit windy as well. So really good option for me. I really enjoy hitting these types of clubs. Okay, let's hit one more here. I'm just going to really try and give this one the full beans as much as my neck is going to allow me. This might hurt a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit skinny, a little bit leaky up that right, won't be the longest that. But again, it's those slight imperfections of strike there, that little bit low in the face. I know I've not middled that, but it's still done a very similar distance. Carried at 233. It's in that sort of bracket. You can see that dispersion ring fairly sort of tight there, and that's great for me, and probably for a lot of golfers off that tee who need that. Imagine if you had the lower loft in. I wish sort of Tour Edge, thank you for sending me this by the way, but I wish they could have sent me the 2-iron. That would have really floated me boat in a way. I love the 2-iron. So there is obviously that option just to get that little bit more carry out of that, a little bit more maybe run out. I'm gonna have to hit another one here. Oh, that felt solid. Super flight, love that, could hit that all day. It's just probably that imperfections of the look for my particular eye, just that little bit more offset, maybe a little bit more of that rounded sort of club face there. Just, I don't know, it doesn't quite give me that, ooh, wow, that looks mega behind the ball, but the performance there, the flight that gives me is definitely what I would be sort of looking for anyway. Okay, so that was quite a nice one to finish on there. Carried out 239 mark, run out 264. As I say, probably don't feel like I'm on it 100% today, just with that little bit of injury on the neck, but feels very nice, very consistent on that ball as it comes out, pretty tight on that sort of dispersion there. Obviously just those slight imperfections, and it's quite good to sort of test that where I've hit it a little bit low in the face, to be honest. How do those miss hits perform? And they've done all right. I'd be quite happy with those on the golf course. I know I've not flushed it. I know I'm not going to hit that as far as one when I do flush it, but it's in play. It's similar sort of flight. It's not doing anything too extreme. So let's just go and check those numbers out a little bit more detail of the Exotics EXS tie utility. Okay, so we'll just start off with looking at a little bit of a side-on view here through TrackMan, and you can see just those dispersions there. So quite a nice little run for me personally, because I've got a couple of those ones where I just get those little fadey ones, which I do not mind at all. It's a safe shot for me. Just don't like that one that really sort of pulls, which I've not really had, which is great. Looking on that side-on view, so you can see how the sort of ball flight sort of comes out. You can see one there just flew up a little bit higher than the others, but again, that slight difference is the strike. Again, we'll sort of just change those numbers fractionally. And then when we look at the sort of numbers itself here, so you can see an average carry of 233, peaking out at that sort of 239, but only dropping off to 227.5. So not a bad front to back dispersion for a 3-iron there, for a long iron. Always a little bit tougher to get a very tight dispersion, but that's pretty good from that front to back. So clearly a couple of little thins in there, or a little bit low in the face sort of strikes, and a drop off between 12 yards from front to back from the best strike to the worst strike isn't a lot at all in this particular club. Ball speed at 147, club head speed just touching that 100-mile-an-hour mark, and launching at sort of 10 degrees there with a spin of 3.2. So not mega low on that spin, but not high by any means either. It's probably a sort of an area where it's not too bad. The launch is quite nice in that low, so probably don't want that spin to get too low, because then that carry distance will start to suffer a little bit more there. Okay everybody, so there we go. There's the Tour Edge Exotics EXS tie utility in a 3-iron. Got a titanium cut face there, nice hollow head. Looks to be giving me a really good sort of ball flight there. Very happy with that type of sort of performance. I'm actually off to Turnberry this weekend to play some golf with 20 odd lads from the facility here at Penrith Golf Hub, and a few across the sort of northwest as well. So I might just pop that in the bag for Turnberry, just see how it is on that links golf course. Probably going to be a little bit windy, I'm guessing, so it'll be nice to sort of see if we can get that sort of ball flight there. So be interested to sort of see how that performs actually out on the golf course. Okay, if you enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up, share it around with any of your golfing buddies. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, really appreciate you. Just take a bit of time, jump down there, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, so any future videos that I land on my channel, you'll get a notification. You'll be one of the very first ones to watch it. And hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.